What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I'm going to show you guys a video clip today, and we have a new proposal out there for SSI to reform SSI. I'm going to show you this clip of Sherrod Brown. He's going to be talking on the Senate floor. He's also going to be talking about Social Security reform, as well as an expansion for Social Security, or an increase. Anytime you hear politicians talk about expanding Social Security, they're talking about making it better. So providing increases, providing reforms that will help the program or help people who are receiving Social Security benefits. So that's what you're listening for. You're listening for, I want to expand Social Security. You're not necessarily listening to politicians talk about, I want to protect Social Security, because protecting Social Security can mean a variety of different things. It could mean that they want to protect Social Security so we won't see the trust fund run out of money in 10 years. Or it could mean that they're going to say, yeah, we need to make some cuts now because we don't want to see those cuts in the future. So when they're saying protect Social Security, be very skeptical of that. When they're talking about expanding Social Security, that's what you want to hear, because now they're talking about a reform for Social Security and then also providing an increase for Social Security. Okay, I want to show you guys this really quickly, and this is from Social Security Works. They're a nonprofit organization that focuses on Social Security beneficiaries, and it says over 66 million Americans receive checks every month after they've retired, become disabled, or lost a family breadwinner. That's because Social Security works. And so I thought that was very interesting, just looking at that, because usually when people think of Social Security, they think of retirement. This is money for people who, when they retire, for seniors. They don't really think about the fact that you're paying an insurance contribution. Remember, not a tax, not the payroll tax. You're paying a contribution when you're working, and part of that money will go to, if you get injured at work, now you can get SSDI if you qualify, and then you can receive some compensation there. And then also, if you could be a survivor. So if you have a breadwinner who passes away, you can also receive benefits that way. So it's not just for seniors. It's not just for people when they retire. And I think we focus too much on that, and we don't really look at the big picture. And the big picture is everyone, every single person should be concerned about Social Security, because they could be in one of those situations. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a clip of Sherrod Brown right now. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, and before we get started, I always read my comments. So I posted a video yesterday, and there are a lot of people in the comments saying, you know, I'll believe it when I see it, or this is just all talk. And the video was centered on Representative Larson. He was in a hearing, and he was talking to some experts about Social Security, and he was really talking about reform and enhancing Social Security, providing enhancements and things like that. Now, Representative Larson, he has introduced a bill already, the Social Security 2100 Act. It does have an increase in it, and it has some reforms for Social Security. And so it's not just all talk. He's actually moving forward. There's action behind this. Now, of course, he needs support. And this is where it gets a little frustrating, because you'll have people saying, this will never happen. This will never happen. If you continue to say it will never happen, guess what? Those lawmakers that are on the fence, that are thinking, you know what, we should be helping Social Security, but, you know, the American people, they don't really care. They're just saying it's not going to happen. So if they're saying it's not going to happen, then we just won't do anything. But when the American people stand up and say, look, this needs to happen, and yes, we want this, and yes, this is something that you need to implement, then lawmakers will start, the lawmakers that are on the fence, because you're going to have some lawmakers that are going to be for this. You're going to have some lawmakers that are going to be kind of, you know, they want to see what's going on. They want to gauge the public and see how they feel about it. And then you'll have some lawmakers that are adamantly against it. Well, you need to get those lawmakers that are on the fence. But if you're just out there saying that it will never happen, then guess what? It probably won't happen, because there's no support. Some lawmakers need to see that support in order to move forward, is basically what I'm saying. And I know it gets frustrating, because you see lawmakers saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then there are a lot of situations where we don't see anything happen, but a lot of that falls on us. And that's why I always talk about an election season, an election year. That is when you really need to be out there going to town hall meetings, telling these politicians, look, I support the Social Security 2100 Act, or I support Bernie Sanders' raise for Social Security, $200 raise for Social Security. How do you feel about it? Ask them that question. Put them on the spot. If they get that question asked to them enough, and if they're on the fence and they see that this is something that the American public is really focused in on, they're going to probably say, you know what? We better start moving forward with something, because if we don't, we might lose in 2024. That's what needs to happen. But you have people that they'll just criticize the fact that you have lawmakers that are out there trying to actually move forward with legislation. They'll criticize that and say, oh, they're just talking. Oh, they're just talking. But if you're not supporting what they're saying, then yes, it will not go anywhere. And we see that a lot. And when it comes to corporations, why do they get what they want? Corporations get what they want because they go after it. They know these politicians. They will talk to these politicians and tell them, hey, we want this, this, and this. We're going to support your campaign, but we need this, this, and this. And lawmakers listen to that, right? Now, we might not have the money to fund campaigns and things like that, but we have a vote. And that vote will matter, especially in these different districts. If you have a politician in a district, and especially if it's a tight race, and he or she is on the fence about moving forward with Social Security reform, and they know that you're going to these town hall meetings and everyone's asking this question, or you're calling in, and like I tell you guys all the time, I have a switchboard number in the description. It's there. You can call your congressperson. And so when you put up a fuss, when you start really getting out there talking about this, that's when lawmakers will have to move on things. And yes, you do need to nudge them in the right direction, because some lawmakers will just sit there, especially the ones that are on the fence. They're just going to sit there and kind of see, okay, do we have to address it? If we really have to address it, we will. But, if people aren't really talking about it, we'll just let it boil over. And then, in time, it'll just go away and people will just forget about it. And that happens a lot. We see that with legislation a lot. Okay, so I can talk about this forever, but I just wanted to let you know, this is the time. An election season is the time to really be getting out there, to be paying attention first off, so you know what's out there. I'm going to show you guys this new proposal, this SSI reform proposal. So you need to know what's out there, and then you need to call on Congress to act. That's what you need to do. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to play the clip, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Here we go.
Everything we do here should come back to the dignity of work, the idea that hard work should pay off for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter what kind of work you do. When work has dignity, people have good jobs with a secure retirement. They can count on Medicare. They can count on Social Security to be there for them. It's why we, 2 years ago, saved the pension of 100,000 Ohioans who worked their whole lives to earn a pension and the peace of mind in retirement. It's why we're still fighting for Delphi retirees who lost their pensions through no fault of their own. It's why we will always fight back against attacks on Social Security. Making sure that all Americans have secure retirement shouldn't be a partisan issue. Social Security and Medicare are two of the most popular and unifying institutions in the country. Social Security is our government's promise to working men and women, a promise that they will in fact be able to retire with dignity. Support for Social Security cuts across party lines, geographic lines, racial lines. Americans want not only to protect Social Security and Medicare, they want to make it stronger. Martin O'Malley, whom we confirmed last night, understands this. The commissioner, he'll make sure that Social Security Administration is accessible and responsive. He'll ensure we're keeping this bedrock promise to the American people. We need to do our part, Mr. President, in this body too. It means passing my Social Security Fairness Act to repeal restrictions from two old laws that are preventing more than 3 million Americans, about 250,000 people in my state alone, including Ohio law enforcement, from receiving the Social Security benefits they earn. Ohio first responders put their lives on the line to protect our communities. They paid into Social Security just like everyone else. All these Ohio workers are asking for is what they've earned. That is the dignity of a secure retirement. We need to pass my bill to reform the supplemental security income, so-called SSIs, programs, outdated restrictions that punish people for working and saving, prevent 8 million Americans with disabilities from building a better life for themselves. Hasn't changed in 40 years. We should update it. These Americans have even $1, if they have even $1 more than $2,000 in their savings account, or $3,000 for married couples, all their, not very high, frankly, all their SSI benefits are taken away. With these outdated rules, there's no way to save for an emergency or plan for the future or, in essence, have agency over your own life. There's broad support for this. It's not partisan. It's not ideological. When I asked the CEOs, the committee I chair, the Banking and Housing Committee, I asked the CEOs of the 8 largest banks if they supported this change. Every single one of them said yes. Every single one endorsed my bill. The big banks and I don't agree on much of anything, but we do agree on this. By passing our bipartisan bill to update this outdated program, we also can fix the root cause of the SSI overpayments and clawbacks that have been hitting too many Ohioans. This has gone on for far too long, hurt too many Ohioans who, again, through no fault of their own, have been forced to deal with the issue of overpayments because of SSA's outdated policies. Ohioans shouldn't be paying for the government's mistakes. Martin O'Malley, our new commissioner, made clear to me in a one-on-one meeting that he's committed to working with us to finally address the root cause of these overpayments. And by increasing the asset limit, we're addressing what SSA calls the leading cause of overpayments, stopping them before they ever go out in the first place. These bills are bipartisan. They provide real fixes to real problems for hardworking Ohioans, people who don't have special interests speaking out on their behalf. They have us. It's what we should be who's speaking out for them. For years, they watched politicians give corporate tax cuts. They've watched Wall Street bailouts, all in many cases in this body, while plotting to cut their Social Security. In the end, Mr. President, it's about whose side you're on. I'll always fight to protect Social Security and to make sure that Americans get the retirement that they've earned.
Okay, so that was Senator Sherrod Brown talking about Social Security reform, expanding Social Security, and then also talking about SSI, so the SSI Restoration Act. I want to take a look at, and this is coming from his website, just what the plan is. Okay, so it says here, the current SSI program punishes disabled and elderly Americans for working, saving for their future, and getting married. Right now, individuals receiving SSI benefits are limited to $2,000 in assets. For married couples, it's $3,000. The average current monthly benefit is $585 for individuals. For approximately 60% of recipients, SSI is their only source of income. The Savings Penalty Elimination Act, so that's what it's called, Savings Penalty Elimination Act, would raise those caps, which have not been changed since 1984, to $10,000 for individuals and $20,000 for married couples, and index them to inflation moving forward. Okay, so why is this important? Well, one of the major reasons why it's important is because a lot of the clawbacks that we've been seeing, so the Social Security Administration saying that you owe us all this money because they overpaid people, a lot of that is coming from SSI. The vast majority is coming from SSI. So because some people, they have their savings, let's say your savings is $2,000 and you go over that by $1, like Sherrod Brown was saying, then that could put you in a situation of losing all your benefits. Now, if the Social Security Administration doesn't catch it, they'll continue sending out your checks, but once they do catch it, then they'll go back and say, okay, you owe us this money. And so what they want to do is move those levels up. Obviously, it hasn't been changed to what they said since 1984. So it's been a long time since they've changed it. And so since 1984, we've seen a lot of changes. So there should be an update. And so that's what he's asking for. And he's saying that this is bipartisan. So there is some support when it comes to Republicans. He is a Democrat. And so we'll have to see if they can move forward with something in 2024. But this is good news for people who are on SSI because they are looking into making adjustments to the program to allow you to save more. I want to know what you guys think about this. So let me know down below. If you guys want to check out the video I posted yesterday about a Social Security increase, you can check it out right there. Please like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.